Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today is Tuesday, December 18th. Another market analysis for you, not as a big one, but with the excitement of my strategy proving to be pretty good. It's time to say that possibly the crypto markets have maybe bottomed out with the current situation. I'm up at least for almost 24 hours, 11.54% on all positions since they were placed last night at 10 p.m. All right, so the article we are going to cover is on a website called smartereum.com. So it's spelled smartereum.com. The title of the article, Bitcoin Price Predictions 2019. Can Bitcoin see the good old days, $20,000 days in 2019? Bitcoin price today. Now, what this article does, it goes through all the experts that they talk to about where they feel that the markets will go. A guy named Robert Slumer, Fundstrat, Sluymer, he said, setup is there, but we need to see that the token actually break out, move through some key levels. However, like many analysts, he says that to say about unlikely chances of worse to come scenario. Still has shared the bullish sentiment with his co-worker, who's Tom Lee. If you're short, we think you should be very careful in reducing your short exposure. I think if you're looking to be long, this is where you start adding here to your long exposure. Moving along, we have infamous John McAfee of the antivirus software. He predicted that Bitcoin will hit 1 million by 2020, following last year's prediction of 7,000 was well surpassed. He tweeted out, when I predicted Bitcoin at 500,000 by the end of 2020, it used a model that predicted 5,000 by the end of 2017. BTC has accelerated much faster than my model assumptions. I now predict Bitcoin at 1 million by the end of 2020. I will still eat my dick if I'm wrong. Now, I want to point out here, I will now predict Burcoin, not Bitcoin, but I think he assumed Bitcoin, but he's got Burcoin, Bircoin, for that tweet on November 29th. November 29th, last year, 2017. All right, so let's see what else we have here. Another person, you can tell the difference between the old farts and the visionaries in this space. We got Kenneth Rogoff, Rogoff, Harvard professor and ex-IMF chief. Bitcoin to shrink $100. Wow. Former chief economist at the IMF has poured icy water in hopes of Bitcoin, based on long-hold belief that governments will rise against anonymous virtual currencies like Bitcoin. First of all, Bitcoin ain't anonymous, but they are rising against anonymous virtual currencies. The big ones, namely Zcash and Monero, are the ones that Homeland Security just announced a few weeks ago that they're going to look into, trying to break the algorithms to protect the anonymity. Government regulations, according to Rogoff, will pop the Bitcoin bubble, but a Bitcoin pioneer on Wall Street thinks along very different lines. Tim Draper predicted Bitcoin to reach 10,000 in 3 years. Assuming this growth happens at the same pace as a 3-year journey to $10,000, we're now in for 6 digits. Maniacal, I can never say that, maniacal, right? That's exactly how Draper feels about Bitcoin's prospects. Now, on as somebody who understands a lot about Bitcoin's foundation, man, some of these are crazy. Bitcoin will hit $40,000 Lou Clausen, Executive Director, Bitcoin Foundation, made a bold statement to reassure believers that the cryptocurrency is on track to reach $40,000 mark. Though his outlook for altcoin holders was not very encouraging, he made it clear that something new, cryptocurrency, will be as risky as it is exciting. And I agree. Bitcoin will hit $320,000 someday. Cameron Winklevoss from the Winklevoss fame. Those guys, the Winklevoss, co-founder of Gemini. If they could get their exchange better, he might have something positive to say, but I don't put a lot of thought into what he says. But anyways, this guy says that he could easily see the BTC go up 40% someday. This year, maybe not likely. The twins said he and his brother were taking longer outlook, 10 to 20 years. I bet you Bitcoin won't even exist in 5 years. Now, apparently he is the wealthiest cryptocurrency investor, weighted Bitcoin prospect against gold, and came up with a resounding verdict. We believe Bitcoin disrupts gold. And that's possible. Another guy, Bobby Lee, CEO of BTCC Exchange. China's first Bitcoin exchange, speaking at the London Blockchain Week, went overboard with his prediction. Lee said Bitcoin will surpass 1 million, but unlike McAfee, he could see this in 20 years' time. Interesting. I think that these are way out of whack. And as I said, I don't think Bitcoin will even exist in 5 years. It will be something, if this whole thing, it'll be each country will have its own cryptocurrency, just like what Venezuela is trying to do, what India is trying to do, with the central banks to issue it to protect and control that currency within that country. Because I'll tell you something, they're very scared of alternative anonymous coins like Dash, Monero, and Zcash. So this guy here, Bobby Lee, I think he said, I think we'll get to 1 million per Bitcoin. Right now it's 10,000. It will go up 100, then 200, then 500K. So what they're saying here in this article is that there's going to be fluctuations, no Shylock. Bitcoin as a store of value. Bitcoin is seen more as a store of value than actual currency, being compared to gold and other assets. It was originally designed as an alternative currency to bank the unbanked. Most decision bodies and financial experts, however, see Bitcoin more as a store of value, an asset rather than a medium or transaction. I don't know about that, but you can definitely trade it with other crypto pairs. But the ones that we're seeing today, with this 10 plus 11%, let me just check here on the last, since I started this podcast, we're up 11.54%. All of the coins that have done really well are using Ethereum as the base. Namely, we're speaking about EOS, Waves, BNB, XMR, ETC, Ethereum Classic against Ethereum. So those are the ones that are moving right now, bringing us a total of 11.54% on positions that we started at 10 p.m. last night. Okay, here's the thing. Many altcoins will suffer. Agreed. Good number of the 2,000 coins will naturally go away as their value become worthless. We've seen that Binance is dropping a lot of these worthless coins if their float on the exchange become less value of, let's say, $25 million. CEO of Ripple and Bitcoin are those raising this alarm. What they say is part of the process that will lead to general acceptance of cryptocurrency will include a cleanup of useless cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin will be standard for virtual currencies. I don't know if it will, but it does have a lot of the volume still. Bitcoin may have a limited use case, tipped to remain the king of all cryptocurrencies. Lots of things are taking shape. XRP is probably, I believe, still number 2, where Ethereum was number 2 for a while, but XRP, just in the last 24 hours, EOS is now, I believe, number 4. Actually, I could check that just to verify that. So along with this article, it says not be a case of which altcoin will overtake Bitcoin. Rather, how will they impress their special use cases? Is the fact that technology behind Bitcoin is less sophisticated when compared to many other projects like Ethereum. Let me just check on the coin market cap volume here. I am seeing a lot of these coins in the last 24 hours have moved up. A majority of them have, at least in the top 100. So here's the order of those cryptocurrencies right now. We've got Bitcoin, number 2, XRP, Ethereum, and as I said, EOS is now number 4, and it moved up 36% last night. And the system's done incredibly well with it, where a good chunk of those 66 positions, I would say a good chunk of those positions are all EOS and EOS Ethereum. We've done quite well with it. It says it's gone up 9.2% over the last 24 hours. I know that the volume's dried up, but I'm just going to check on the latest volume here on the hourly versus the 24-hour. Right now, Monero is number 1 at 5.44% at 6, and that's hourly, and the 24 hours 6.75%. Ethereum is number 2 at 4.75 hourly, and the 24-hour change for Ethereum is 4.93. IOTA, which can move around quite a bit, is up at 4.57 on the 1 hour, and the percent 24-hour change is 11.44, followed by Bitcash Coin at 4.22 and 16.73. The other one to take note on, which I was quite surprised when, there's quite a number of positions that we've done well with, is Waves. The hourly change is at 2.76%, while the 24-hour change is at 34.62%. Out of the top 20 coins that are profitable as we speak right now, with number 19 at Binance Coin is at 1.61%, but that was another coin that's done very well earlier today. Tether is also profitable at 0.17. So there's some legitimacy behind Tether as well, which is at number 6 overall on the coin market cap. Bitcoin Cash, number 7. Litecoin, number 8. And then Bitcoin SV at number 9. Tron is at number 10. Those are the top 10. But what I will tell you, all of these coins do get listed in the top 20. The problem is the ones that don't stay with that strong momentum that we're looking for are what I'm looking for. XRP is one of them. Bitcoin itself is not able to maintain a strong momentum. EOS does, Stellar does not. Tether, rarely. We get maybe 1 or 2 positions. Bitcoin Cash can maintain it against Ethereum. Litecoin can rarely maintain its momentum, and Monero sometimes can as well. With that all, and then BNB as well, Binance Coin. So when you, and Dash as well, a few days ago, it was doing quite well as well. So when you look at those coins, those can do really well. But the thing is, it's a momentum that makes the system have the potential profit and hold the momentum and hold those trades when we put them on. And when I look at some of the position moves, and hopefully you've seen my my video, and reason why I don't really like Forex or even CFD or anything else is because of the moves. So for instance, when I look at all of the current 66 positions that I put on over the last, let's say 20 hours, the range of volume can be, like I said, we only have 66 positions. I think only, I can't really say, but last time I checked, which is a few hours ago, it was maintaining about a 86 win ratio out of these 66 positions. When you look at the average position It can be as high as 0.99%, or yeah, so just under 0.92%, 0.75. But usually the winners are very small, and they're not put on for very long. So on average, I'd like to run the metric. The average return on each position out of these 66, I would say, are about anywhere from 0.14, 0.57, as low as 0.12, 0.24, 0.63, 0.03, 0.05, and so on and so forth. But you can see that even if they're very low, that's still profit. And that adds quite a bit to that 11.54%. Let me just see if there's any other new positions put on. Yes, we just put on 33 positions, so we are now up at 11.98%. Those were 3 new positions since I started this podcast. So those 3 rate of return was at 0.03%, 0.16%, and 0.06% moves. And those coins and they keep they're like scalping, basically. We have BNB Ethereum, Waves Ethereum, and BNB Ethereum again. What the key of success of this strategy and to be able to accumulate this kind of position in a 24-hour period is because I've removed the rule saying only have one position for one pair at a time. I've removed that, so there's going to be more and more periods of why the positions are added more, plus we get those positive moves that we look for. So when you do that, you do quite well. Now, if you are smart enough to know Facebook and go to the Quant Labs Net page, you will find that there are 2 new videos I just posted today that clearly show you that minute by minute on why the charts show those moves. Specifically, I believe it was for Waves or BNB, or one of them. But you can see where the volume drops off, and we're able to. And I have not. I've been able to track that position. That position moved up 0.98%, so it's very close to 1% over those number of bars. And it was only 10 bars, but those are the kind of moves that will do very well for you. And if you continually to get these each and every freaking day, you will do really well. Okay, now we're going to find a way to keep the lights on with not only this podcast, but everything I do. What we do is we've got our course that I'm showing all the Python, the exact same techniques that I'm using to get these kind of results. I've been tracking this since Thursday, but we've been really been hitting a stride over the last 2 days since I removed the this rule of the number of position or pairs per number of pairs that can be open at once. We got rid of that, and that's why the returns have exploded like crazy. So anyways, what's really exciting is when I designed this strategy 3 days ago, and that's all it took was 3 days looking at minute by minute, we're able to get a lot of positions over a 24-hour period. As I said, we're now at 69. That's pretty crazy. And we're able to accumulate 11.98% move in a fairly down market, but it's pretty good. So, but between Friday and Sunday, I knew that we were getting about a 50% win ratio, but now I've removed that rule, and we're now hovering. I'm going to estimate at least 75% and maybe as high as 85-90% wins, and that's great. So again, as I said, we've got this Python infrastructure building block course. I will be jacking it up to at least $500 US. I will retail it for $750 sometime after Christmas. The deadline I'm looking at is probably December 27th. I know everybody's shopping and whatever. That's all fine and good. But right now it's $250, and it will not be this cheap. $247 to be exact. If you get in on this thing right now, you'll be up and running, be able to learn about automated trading using Python, getting all the building blocks and infrastructure. And so important to be able to have your own custom trading platform. That is critical. You're not dependent upon some crap broker that's probably going to cheat you out of your trades. You're not going to be dealing with some platform, and I've dealt with one great platform the last few weeks, but you don't have to worry about these sort of restrictions because you have a source code, so that enables you to do all kinds of things to your fancy that you see fit for your own trading system. So this course enables you to have all the components of the building blocks that go into a custom trading platform. It's a primitive platform, but when you tailor it to your needs, it can do all kinds of great stuff, as I've been talking about in this podcast today. So when you think about that, that includes the charting. I'm going to be showing as part of the intake a live 1 minute charting source code, which is not more than 200 lines, which is quite rare. You can do that on any pair that you have access to via. I use Binance. It's the most credible exchange out there outside of Bitfinex, but Binance has the volume. The other thing I want you to know is I constantly post articles regarding from all over the place online regarding crypto and anything else, forex or commodity or whatever. But one interesting article I came across was the ability where out of all the different exchanges that I'm looking at, let's say if I look at CoinMarketCap, I put a video on this earlier today on the QuantLabsNet YouTube channel, and when you look at the top 100 reported volume, a lot of those exchanges are, I'm not going to say are liars, but you need to question their volume. If they're questioning the volume, then the next question is, can you rely on them when you put your orders in? So a report came out today. The only two exchanges that don't do that, according to this report, is Binance and Bitfinex. So I highlighted that. Right now, when you look under the adjusted volume on CoinMarketCap, you will get, number one will be Binance. Right now, the adjusted volume is $875 million in the last 24 hours. And that you compare to Bitfinex is only $275 million. So Binance is 3 times bigger. You get a much bigger selection of crypto pairs on Binance. Is why I like them. They seem to be really good. And you know, as close as you can get to being with a credible exchange. When you get the other ones, I'm just going to name them. I'm not saying they do this or not, but we're talking about OKX, Huobi, DigiFinex, BitZ, HitBTC, Coinbean, Bitforex, blah, blah, blah. You just go on CoinMarketCap and check out under exchanges for those, we'll just say, exchanges that I just mentioned off, among other ones. So that's pretty well it. As I said, the course the 250 will be sold up until 26th of December will be the last day. It will be going up to maybe 500. If you're not ever visiting my website at quantlabs.net, make sure there's a pop-up on there that you should sign up for. You'll get all the notifications from me on what I've been working on via the videos, if it's going to be posted on Facebook, the page at QuantLabsNet, or the channel on YouTube at QuantLabs. A lot of new stuff is getting posted quite a bit, and now I'm starting to really leverage the podcast as well, because I go where the audience is and where I get the engagement. And I will say it's just all over the place on a social front, but the top 3 for me in terms of building up an audience through crypto is through a podcast over at podbean.com. I believe that the iTunes store and the Google Play should have the podcast for what's it called? Quant Live Report or something like that. Let me go over there. I don't even know the name of my own podcast. I got too much stuff on the go. So we just got somebody new. Welcome. We are dealing with Quant Trading Live Reports, the name of the podcast that you're listening to, as well as the channel at youtube.com/QuantLabs, as well as the Facebook page, QuantLabsNet. on Facebook to get and make sure you subscribe to both because you'll get notifications. Sometimes I go live, especially on the Quant Labs Net page where I go live, and that's where I can build up some good engagement with people. And the usual Monday nights will be happening. As I said, today is Tuesday, December 18th. I post a lot of stuff. Make sure you get on over to the quantlabs.net site, join the pop-up. I blast out stuff every day, and that includes the sales that I put on, including the course. I'll be able to give you a link over for this course that I'm speaking of. And on top of that, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast too, because I put up stuff that I don't put elsewhere, and that's for audio purposes. So that's all I'm going to say. This has been a very long podcast. Wanted to report all the fun stuff, but we are pretty well looking pretty good so far for the last 2-3 days, but we're really pouring it on in terms of high gear with the latest strategy that has been implemented. And I must say, the way it's looking, it's turning into a wild success that I never thought. Always remember, you want to get 1% daily moves on your trading, no matter what you trade, if it's stock, if it's futures, if it's options, or if it's Forex. But why would you want to settle with all this crap returns, especially in the world of Forex, when you want to get a 2% daily return, or however many pips you want, which is a useless way of thinking, if you ask me. But if you are targeting just 1%, 5 days a week, you're shortchanging yourself. But when you go into the world of crypto, and if I was able to pull off this 11.98%, I'm sorry, I am correcting myself. We just did another update. We have now 2 more positions that have been added, and we are now cumulatively to 12.88%. That is awesome. I feel like I'm in a marathon here. So we've added 2 new wave positions, Wave Ethereum and BNB Ethereum just now, and the Waves Ethereum brought in 0.16%, as well as the BNB Ethereum brought in 0.06. I think part of it has to do with the Asian volume is opening up right now because it's 640. So I think that's what we got. I'll report in the next probably couple hours on one of the social media or here on the podcast. But I got to tell you, this is very, very exciting. I shall talk to you later because I got other stuff to do. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. But follow where I am and however, because this is very exciting to be part of. Over and out.